Hello everyone and welcome back to AP Bio with AP Playground. Today we're covering topic 7.7, Common Ancestry. Super short lesson here, objectives are simple. There is evidence of common ancestry of all eukaryotes, and we'll be looking at membrane-bound organelles, linear chromosomes, and genes that contain introns as evidence for common ancestry. And our suggested skill is argumentation, 6E, predict the causes or effects of a change in or disruption to one or more components in a biological system. So to talk about common ancestry of eukaryotes, we have to explain how eukaryotes arose, and we'll do that by reviewing the endosymbiotic theory. And the endosymbiotic theory states that eukaryotic cells evolved by incorporating into themselves individual prokaryotes, which eventually became organelles. And these include the mitochondria and chloroplasts, which show evidence for this because they have their own DNA, they have their own membrane, they have their own ribosomes, and this suggests that they used to be their own cell. They used to be their own prokaryote until they were incorporated into the ancestral prokaryote that eventually became the ancestral eukaryote, which evolved to the modern day eukaryote. So we can see that eukaryotes evolved from the endosymbiotic theory because we can look at the similarities between prokaryotes and the organelles within eukaryotes. And in of itself, all eukaryotic cells share structures that suggest common ancestry, such as the membrane-bound organelles we discussed on the last slide, such as linear chromosomes that only eukaryotes have, whereas prokaryotes have circular chromosomes. And lastly, genes that contain introns. So within our linear chromosomes, there are coding regions that can be expressed, and those are genes, those are exons, but there's also non-coding regions known as introns, and that's something that all eukaryotic cells share. And these structures that eukaryotic cells share suggest that there was an original common ancestor, an original eukaryote that all of the eukaryotes that exist today evolved from because they all have these similar structures. So there you have it, super short lesson today, but there is evidence for the common ancestry of all eukaryotes, and that pairs nicely with our evidence for evolution we discussed in 7.6. We'll see you in 7.8.